Yo, what's going on, guys? BJ, I'm here to talk about what went on in the View today with Meghan McCain. Apparently, Mary Trump, who has a new book coming out about her nephew Donald Trump, she had an original book coming out, but basically, this new one is about how America can recover from the trauma of having her nephew Donald Trump as the president. And on the show today, Meghan McCain was absent when Mary Trump appeared on the show. She wasn't there to speak about the book. And Mary Trump basically called her out. Here's the quote from Mary Trump. Mary Trump said, "It's a shame that your colleague didn't have the courage to come on here for this conversation." So basically, she didn't have the courage to come on there. But of course, not. Mary Trump is a coward. Excuse me, Meghan McCain is a coward. She she never faces up to things. In fact, on the show also today, she commented on Kathy Griffin's announcement. Kathy Griffin, of course, somebody who in 2017 was in a in a in a big controversy involving then President Donald Trump, in which she had his bloody head. She had decapitated and the bloody head like this, and a lot of conservatives got on her for that. And today, a lot of conservatives have taken to Twitter and basically said that, basically implied that Kathy Griffin deserved it. And Meghan McCain also implied that Kathy Griffin deserved it, said she still has no love for Kathy Griffin. So apparently, Meghan McCain is not only a coward, but she is a selfish, evil individual as well. Anybody who's praising this Kathy Griffin announcement and saying that it's quote unquote karma because of what happened to what this poor woman is going to have to endure with lung cancer is a piece of shit, a pure piece of shit. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care if you're as conservative as William F. Buckley or as liberal as Noam Chomsky. A person says they have cancer that is more serious than politics. Sure, she went over the line with what she said about Donald Trump, but hey, she's a comedian. That's what comedians do. Comedians, ever since the age of Sophocles in ancient Greece, and well, Sophocles wasn't a comedian. Aristophanes was a comedian in ancient Greece. Sophocles was a dramatist, so scratch that out. But Aristophanes in ancient Greece, comedians have commented on the state of the society. And that's what comedians do. If you don't like it, then don't listen to their comedy. Lisa's saying she's glad that Meghan McCain is getting off the View this Friday. Exactly. She didn't outright see. She's not one of the worst ones. She didn't outright wish bad luck on Kathy Griffin. She kind of did in so many words, but there's other conservatives out there that are saying that Kathy Griffin deserved this, that Kathy Griffin, this is karma for what Kathy Griffin did. Listen, again, comedy, this is what comedy is about. Comedy is about criticizing, using jokes to criticize the state of the society. Comedy is not about your feelings. You know what I mean? If you don't like something, don't laugh at it. Don't watch it. But comedy, it has to offend you because that's what comedy does. It offends. That's just she didn't like Trump and she made a skit about Trump. She got canceled for it. She got blacklisted for it, and now she's suffering cancer. And on top of that, her brother suffered cancer, and her sister suffered cancer as well, and they passed away. So, hasn't the poor woman been through enough in life that she needs shitheads, conservatives like Meghan McCain to jump all over and claim that she deserved things that are coming to her? That's bullshit, man. That's complete bullshit. And Mary Trump is absolutely right about Meghan McCain not having the courage to face her. But I don't get it either. Meghan McCain never liked Trump. She claimed she wasn't on the Trump bandwagon. All of a sudden now, she gets married to a guy who's super more conservative than her dad, like we said before in a video in my archives. And um, because of that, now she's more conservative. Now she every time somebody says something against Trump, even his own aunt, even his own aunt that knows him better than you know, you as the conservative lover of Trump, biggest MAGA supporter in the world, you really don't know jack shit about Trump, the real man, the real Donald John Trump. You know the public persona that he puts out there, that he emanates. But see, him the man, him the man don't matter. What really matters to a lot of these Trump supporters, like Meghan McCain, like Lisa saying, a hidden Trump supporter, a low key Trump supporter. What really matters to these people is what he represents. Okay? Not who he is as a person. Because they don't know him as a person. They know what he represents. What he represents is a white lash against the progress made in the 2010s during the presidency of Barack Obama. What he represents is that last gasp of old school white supremacy that existed before the civil rights movement or during the Reagan Revolution. Okay, the niece of Trump. Okay, the niece, the aunt, she's his family member. That's the point. She knows the man better than his followers know the man, but they don't care. They would have put anybody up there. Anybody that was speaking against um the administration of Barack Obama, which Hillary represented because she was Obama's Secretary of State um during the years that Obama was really prominent. Kerry was his Secretary of State in the latter half. But during the years that Obama was really prominent, it was Hillary Clinton, and some of the major foreign policy decisions that he made in Libya or overseas was when Hillary was his Secretary of State. So that's what they really cared about. That's what Trump represented to them. He was like the Archie Bunker of politics. He represented that white resistance to to racial racial plurality. So it wasn't the attack from Kathy Griffin wasn't an attack necessarily about Trump the man. See, what happened with Meghan McCain was this. Her first book, yeah, I did, Lisa. In her first book, she exposed was how Donald Trump was racist, how he was xenophobic, how he would say crazy things. Michael Cohen also is another person that was really close to Trump, his lawyer, and he said he would get upset every time he would see Barack Obama. For some reason, and she mentions this in her book as well, her first book. Barack Obama really got under the skin of Trump. Like he really didn't mind any other black celebrity. He hobnobbed with a lot of other black celebrities. But when it came to Barack Obama, for some reason, the thought of Barack Obama, the 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 mention of Barack Obama's name would make his skin crawl. He really didn't like Barack Obama at all, and she mentions that in this book, in her book, and she mentions how he, in the first book, how he was spoiled and how they would give him everything, and he was just a spoiled little child. You know what I mean? And we saw everything she mentions in her book about him being spoiled, about being entitled, about him being overly privileged. That was stuff we saw in his presidency. Every time he didn't get his way, he cried about it, he whined about it, he bitched about it. I mean, no president really got their way. You know what I mean? Like not getting your way is par for the course being the president. I mean, you're not the king of England, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're not. Well, England's king is even um, limited. Yeah. Right, I was just gonna say that. At least the only reason why she doesn't like him is because of what he said about her father. They were just mad. She was just mad she never got invited to his party. She was like, she was basically her and her whole family was like the girl who uh say there's a popular uh guy at school, right? And he talks to every other girl, but he don't talk to this one girl. So the one girl that she feels like she's prettier than all the other girls that he's giving hugs to and he's saying hello to, she feels snubbed. So what does she do? She starts dissing him on Twitter. And she starts dissing him on Snapchat. Oh, he ain't shit. Ah, fuck him. He was never that good anyway. He was never that cute anyway. He was this. He was that. Because she felt snubbed. She felt snubbed by him. So, seeing as though Meghan McCain felt snubbed by Trump and by the Republican establishment for Trump's whole presidency, she turned against Trump. She acted like she was against Trump. But really, all she really wanted from Trump was validation. All she really wanted from Trump was like that kid in the hallway that always begs for hugs. She just wanted a hug from Trump. She just wanted validation from Trump. That's all she really needed. She just wanted him to say, I'm sorry. You know, I'll take you back. And he never said it because Trump doesn't say he's sorry. He's that kind of a person. But if he'd have said it, she'd have been right. She and her whole family would have been right back in his loving arms. And if he'd have gone to war in foreign countries, because that's really what her dad really wanted. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing about making her dad a hero um, when he voted down to strike down Obamacare. The only reason he did that was because he was against Trump, not necessarily that he was for what Barack Obama was for in terms of helping the American people in healthcare. You could care less because his plan, um, John McCain's plan, didn't include healthcare when he ran in 2008. He didn't include healthcare back when he ran in 2000. Like all phonies, man. You know what I mean? Like all phonies. I think Meghan McCain is just mad because she's getting kicked off the View, so she feels like, oh, I don't want to hear nothing any more criticism about the Republican Party. And plus, the Republican Party is so low right now, in terms of public opinion. The American people don't give a damn about the Republican Party. They've never been lower in terms of popularity with the American people because of COVID, because of how they mishandled the COVID crisis. Not just Trump. not just Trump and his perpetual childish ways, but the entire party, how they continue to handle it. You had Ted Cruz go on TV and say that people don't have to be vaccinated. You don't have to be vaccinated. Hello, Ted Cruz. If we don't get vaccinated, the country won't get back to normal. Is that what you want? They want to see this. The Republicans and the conservatives, they want to see the country fail. They want us to fail. Never forget that after Barack Obama got elected in 2008, what Rush Limbaugh said on the radio. And this rings true for the Republican Party. This is how they acted during Obama's presidency, and this is how they're acting right now. This is how they acted with Trump's presidency. What Rush Limbaugh said, Rush's quote, "I want Obama to fail." That was what he said. I want Obama to fail. And I'm glad that I brought up Rush because remember, when Rush Limbaugh passed away, I said I never liked Rush Limbaugh. I thought he was a preacher of hate. But I also said he had the right to say what he said. And I didn't say, even though I'm a hardcore Democrat, I did not say in the video that it was karma that he got cancer and he passed away. But this is what people are saying about Kathy Griffin. This is what people like Meghan McCain are saying about Kathy Griffin. Is this showing you the difference between the two parties and how they look at the world? One party, a person gets sick that they have a political disagreement with, and they claim it's karma. The other party, you have people saying, you know what? He was a vile, evil human being. He said wicked and evil things, but still he's a human being, and I sympathize with him. You have one party that's saying, let's all get together and let's get the shot. Not that we should all trust the government, because again, there's a video in my archives of why we shouldn't always trust the government. Not that we should follow the government blindly, but if the shot is proven healthy, that we should all get the shot and we should all think positive and try to get back on the right track. And then you have another party and saying, well, let's not get the shot. Let's hope the country fails. You see how one party is completely negative, and another party is positive. You know what I mean? Like Meghan McCain and the Republicans know that the Republican Party is failing right now. That people in general, people are not feeling the Republicans anymore because they've dropped the ball so many times. Because they've proven the politicians in the Republican Party, like like Donald Trump, like Ron DeSantis, like Ted Cruz, they proved that they don't care about the American people, that they could care less if we die. Because if we die, it'll meet their ends. They're able to capitalize on it. They're able to capitalize on the anger, the frustration, the disillusionment of the American people. See, Republicans like it when the country is negative. They love to run on negativity. That's how they get elected. They love to run on fear. That's how they get elected. Look at Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, when he ran on fear. He started his campaign in 1980 in Philadelphia, Mississippi, the site where three civil rights workers got killed: Cheney, Schwarmer, and Goodman. George W. Bush, fear of terrorism. That's how he won in 2004. He continuously stoked the flames of Islamophobia, trying to get us to fear Muslims, right? Look how Trump ran in 2020, trying to, oh, I got to come back and I got to restore order because Black Lives Matter has destroyed the social fabric of America. Antifa has destroyed the social fabric of America with riots. So if they got a boogeyman and they got fear and they got depression and they got anger and they got disillusionment in the country, that's how they'll win. Reagan used the Iran hostage crisis. He capitalized on that. And how Jimmy Carter mishandled that. That's how he won in 1980. George H.W. Bush used a man named Willie Horton, who was let out of prison on a pass and then killed somebody. He continuously went around and said that the Democrats were going to let out prisoners from jail. And that's how he won in 1988. Fear mongering. That's how they win. Negativity. That's how they win. They never run on anything positive. It's always what they don't want instead of what they want. Okay, we don't want this. We don't want tax hikes. We don't want school busing. We don't want racial integration. Okay, what do you want? You never tell us what you do want. You only tell us what you don't want. So that's all negativity. You know, they run on negativity, division, and fear. And without negativity, division, and fear, the Republicans don't have a platform. And it's funny to me that when someone that is a celebrity speaks out in favor of conservative politics, they say freedom of speech, freedom of speech. But when Kathy Griffin spoke out about freedom of speech, people didn't people didn't support her. They didn't say it was a freedom of speech issue then. But suddenly, when somebody wants to say homophobic things like the baby, or somebody wants to say Islamophobic things like Ben Shapiro, the stuff he said that the difference between Arabs and Israelis is that Israelis like to build things, Arabs like to bomb things, right? Or somebody wants to say racist stuff, you know, or defend blackface like Meghan Kelly. That's not, oh, that's a freedom of speech issue. They should be allowed to say what they want to say. But they go to criticize Trump being a comedian, being a social satirist, then all of a sudden they don't have the right to say what they say. They should be canceled. Republicans are always speaking out against cancel culture unless it's one of their favorites. Then they're all for canceling people. See their hypocrisy? That's how it is, guys. So we have a choice at this. We have a choice at this juncture. Either like, not to sound like a Sith, you know, or George W. Bush. Either we're with negativity or we're with positivity. Like Bush said, see how the black and whites, the dichotomies. Either you're with us or you're with the terrorists. Back in 2003, you know, you know what I mean. So I mean, look at the hatred that Simone Biles is getting online. Again, go to my Simone Biles video. Look at, and this is a completely UK issue, but I was just talking about this with Lisa, and it kind of relates to the title. When the three guys from the English football team, the English soccer team rather, um, missed the shot, so many people were coming out with racist tweets towards these three English soccer players. Why? Because they lost in a freaking game. This spirit of negativity that the Republican Party represents here in the United States has spread to conservative parties all over the world. See what the movement of Trump, the movement that he rode the wave of, the, that was started by people like Ben Shapiro, people like Milo Yiannopoulos, and people like Candace Owens. You see what kind of negativity is unleashed in the world? That even in countries that were seemingly liberal, like the UK back in the day, are now bastions of toxicity. That something as innocent as a football game could, uh well, a soccer game, whatever, could unleash uh negativity, so much negativity online. I mean, so what? They missed. So what? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a game. But you don't care that they missed. You just want to point out that they were three black players. You know, you just wanted to make it a racial issue because maybe you're upset that Meghan Markle is now was now in the royal family, so you're a little bit upset about that. So the kind of negativity that Trump produced in the United States has now spread to other countries. It's now in every Western country. This whole idea that people like the Proud Boys like to promote, that the West is under attack because of immigration from the Islamic world or from Africa or from the Caribbean. This idea, this Republican centered idea that white people around the world must defend Western civilization against non white people coming into their countries is something that Donald Trump promoted. It's something that Donald Trump ran off of. And it manifested itself in the UK in Brexit, and it manifested itself in other countries in other ways. So you had this trifecta around the world of people like Boris Johnson, people like Trump, and people like Benjamin Netanyahu that it was like this racist triad against minority groups in every country. And then when COVID hit, it was like, right, yes, you don't. When COVID hit, Lisa, it was like, okay, now this thing is happening. Now we got to blame the more minorities even more. We got to attack minorities even more. We saw it in the United States. We saw it in England. We saw it in India against the Muslims. So I blame, well, I don't really blame Trump. It started really online in the latter part of the 2000s, and it snowballed into something that Trump made even worse. Now I feel like the whole world is so damn divided because of the negativity that conservatives around the world, and particularly the Republican Party in the US, promotes. Like, people are out here saying, you know, they're out here saying that we shouldn't get the shot because um it's part of a new world order QAnon conspiracy. I mean, people out here defending the January 6th rioters. People out here like Marjorie Taylor Greene, that congresswoman, out here spouting crazy stuff. And people like Meghan McCain, mainstream talking heads like Meghan McCain, are defending people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Crazy nut jobs. What was considered the nutty shit back in the day that was just fringe, that's become the mainstream in the Republican Party right now. All they want to do is blame minorities, blame LGBT people, blame Muslims. This is where we're at right now. This is the world we're at. The world we're at right now is when a woman who's been a celebrity for years starts to suddenly, uh, announces that she has cancer, and then everybody, instead of saying, "Oh, sorry, you have cancer, Kathy Griffin," they they attack her. They say that it's good that she has cancer. Anyway, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Lisa, for contributing. I went a little off topic about the Mary Trump stuff, but it all kind of relates and ties in. Love y'all. Peace. And we need more love and positivity in the world and less negativity.